Welcome back to another episode of the South by East podcast, where we discuss the scriptures, culture, music, and everything in between. Brail, what do we have today?
Man, we're looking at a couple of pieces today, man. First off, we're going to jump into a video by the legend. The man who needs no introduction, but he's getting one anyway, because that is the level of legendary that we're talking about today. One of the greatest rappers of all time, Mr. Andre 3000.
Keep your heart, 3 Stacks.
Oh,
Keep your
heart.
heart.
You girls are smart. But he lays out why he no longer really is active in the rap game. And then we have a bit of a quote about timing and wealth and what it looks like to build that. And I think they just present two separate ideas. So we want to have this conversation and jump into it today. So let's look at Mr. 3 Stacks.
Now, like, people think, oh man, he's just sitting on raps, or like he's just holding these raps hostage. Like, I ain't got no raps like that. Like, it actually feels, sometimes it feels inauthentic for me to rap, because I don't have anything to talk about in that way. Like, I'm 48 years old, and not to say that age is a thing that dictates what you rap about, but in a way it does. And like, things that happen in my life, like, what do you talk, like, I gotta go get a colonoscopy? Like, what do you what do you rap about? You know what I mean? Like, my eyesight is going bad. Like,
but you're not just any rapper. Like, you're a top 5, to many people. To me, it's like you're basically being like, I have a very beautiful sports car in the garage, but I choose never to drive it. Which is your talent.
Talent is one thing, but honestly, I think timing and momentum is more important than talent.
It's a good conversation. That's a good conversation. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but we are talking about the difference of where's he going with that as far as timing is concerned. And there was another post that you had sent me, John, that I felt like really connected with this. It's from a Facebook page called Good Financial Sense. It says the average millionaire is 57, not 21. The average age to start a business is 43, not 23. The average age to buy a house is 38, not 26. The average age for a career pivot is 39, not 25. Building an impressive physique takes 3 years, not 90 days. The average successful business takes 5 to 10 years, not 6 months. You're not behind, you're right on time. So as we hit these pieces, John, so I'll start us out on this one. One of my qualms with Mr. 3000, I think that Andre is incredibly mature, and I think you could hear that even in his younger raps, the way that he thinks about things and the insight that he gives to them, the intentionality that he has. And I think that's part of what has made him a legendary rapper on top of his skill set. But one of my thoughts about Andre stepping back in the game is that he devoids us of a great elder. What I mean by that is when Jay-Z dropped his 444 album, that was his kind of senior album. He's older, and he dropped an album where he's talking about, for one, stepping out on his wife, which she had already made an album about that, Lemonade. And he owns up to that, stills with that. He talks about building generational wealth. He talks about connecting with the youth and trying not to follow trends and speaking into some trends where people have missed the boat. That was a really powerful album. And for a lot of people, they were like, why did he even do that? Like, that's not hitting for the younger folks. That's not hitting. But for those of us who have been watching the game a lot longer, we're like, oh, that's, for me, as someone who's in early 30s, late 20s when that album dropped, it was like, oh, that is the rap perspective of stepping into full adulthood, middle age, like stepping into that place. And I was like, that's a cool reference, because when I was a kid, it was listening to Ludacris to help me understand, oh, I live in the hood. I'm dealing with issues of poverty. And so it was, though I've developed in my maturity, I liked that there was a space in rap that was talking about maturing. When I hear 3 Stacks talk about this, I think he makes great points, but I think what's further behind that punch is what he's talked about in some other interviews, where unlike Big Boy, he's like, I don't feel confident that I can make a full album. Because even when he was at the height of his career, he didn't make solo albums. Even the one that he did is kind of his solo album, which is The Love Below.
Below.
Caroline. He did that because it was still a partner project with Big Boy. Once they started making solo albums, Andre bowed out. And so I think that there's reality to what he's saying, but I also think that there's an insecurity in himself. And every time I hear him rap, all I hear is up, it squeak. Hit squeak is the last vote that I want to hear when it's going down. When all said and done, and we got a new Joe in town. When the record player get to skipping and slowing down, all y'all can say is them brothers earned the ground. So that is more, when I look at it, I see more of an insecurity and something that he's holding back from the community.
Can I give you a different perspective?
Please do.
So you and I are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
We parent different. Our marriages look different,
Mm-hmm.
and we both feel we respect each other's decisions.
Yep.
And what I hear what you said in some of that, and I think some of those like there's some things that each of us are gonna wrestle with for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Right. And I hear some of that, but I see some implementation that's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see him still making features.
Mm-hmm.
And I also hear of people in the industry that talk about like, oh yeah, I can still call him. He'll still
That's a good point.
He'll still pour into
that
me.
Is a good point.
He'll still, and so it's not that I don't see it as him saying, I can't do this craft anymore. Because let's put it in another arena. I like to do this. Put it in another arena.
Yeah.
If you've ever been at the rec center
Mm-hmm.
or the court and you see old school show up.
Oh yeah. OG.
Old school that's
Big
gonna
money,
use
ready to go.
That's gonna use the backboard for every shot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, like now, is he gonna be able to run the court the whole time on every break? No. But once he get down to the other end of the court and y'all get a set, he gonna be able to hit that mid-range little set shot
Right.
every time, right?
Right.
And so I see Andre as that set shot shooter where he's like, my knees ain't the same. But I can run with y'all for a real long time as long as you know I'm not gonna run every break with you.
Mm.
But given the window and opportunity, I'm still dead zero every time I release this thing.
Yeah.
I don't take as many shots, but the shots I take now, I'm gonna hit more of them than I did when I was a youngster. And so I see him saying like, hey, back when I was younger, right? Southern Playalistic, I felt like I had to rap about all my life all the time.
Right.
Now I'm getting window opportunities to tell you about the parts of my life that I still want to share. Because I just don't feel like I'm in the window anymore. Or I know a lot of musicians and people in there, and music is their release of how they express things that are going on that they processing that they don't feel like they can express any other kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hear him saying too, like, well, I don't need music in the same way that I needed music before.
To process this.
Right.
That's
and
not
so
the medium that I need for where I'm at right
for where
now.
I'm at right now. But given the I still enjoy music. I still am involved. Is the Grammys keep telling me that I can still pull the trigger and do it when I need to, but I don't need it in the same way. And man, I see a charity in there saying I also like, because I've seen him like encouraging different people, different things of that nature, and saying I also want to let them have their moment and different things of that nature, because I've had my moment.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what we talked about with some of the other conversations, and I'm trying to think of some of our more recent. We just kind of talked about this of just like, hey, yeah, I've had my moment, and so now I enjoy seeing somebody else. We were talking about what it was like to be an R&B artist in the '80s, and releasing at the same time, right? And so it's like, hey, fam, like, if Outkast dropping and this new unknown artist is dropping on the same day, and I only got $15 for this CD,
I'm going with
Outkast, right? And so it's like, we talked about this like many times. In order for the next person to ascend to the throne, a lot of times the person on the throne or the next in line has to willingly give up
rather than being taken out.
They have to
Right,
give up
right.
their seat
Right.
for that next person to really be able to grow and
Yeah.
different things of that nature. And so I see, but I see like me too. I would love some new Andre music.
Right.
I would love
Same.
it. And I also see the part of it saying like, man, I really like him. When you've done so much, this past weekend I got to see Messi, right? And this is his last World Cup, right? And I got to see him celebrate the younger guys on this team that scored the winning goals to move them toward the last 2 rounds of the World Cup. And him just going crazy celebrating. And there's a piece of when you've done so much, you get more joy of seeing other people do things that you've done in the past than you just continually doing them over and over again.
Right. You know, so this conversation, agent, because I hear all that too. Like I do think that there's a generosity in what he does, and for those that can connect with Andre, I've heard stories of Anderson .Paak telling stories of how Andre mentored him and other young rappers who he's been able to connect with, usually in short spurts of time, but those things last with them, right?
Yeah.
As him as a mentor. I think a piece that kind of rubs me is the last part of what he said. And it is, I believe it to be true, but I also believe that it tells me something about how Andre views himself as a rapper. And it's like he said, it's all about momentum and timing. And it's like when we talk about momentum and timing, my mind goes to, when you're doing a release, if you want this to hit and hit for the culture and be in a way, which also translates to the business. Not that he needs that, but it's like, hey, if I drop an album, I want people to listen to it. I want it to be successful. I want to see that happen. That is going to depend on momentum and timing. But I think that, to me, when he's talking about, hey, I don't really rap like that no more, I don't really do that no more, he's thinking about himself as a rapper. Because I've also heard, as a rapper, as a successful rapper, because I've also heard, like, when in that same video where Anderson .Paak was talking about, man, he helped me so much and he did all this, he was like, I had to call Andre for 3 weeks because
that's everybody,
he was insecure about his verse, and he didn't feel like his verse added anything to the song. And even when we finally got the song, I had to convince him to let us put it out. And the verse is phenomenal.
That's everybody I know. But also, you got to remember, he was in a relationship with Badu. I mean, there's a group of artists.
Bro.
There's a group of artists, bro.
Badu Voodoo.
Badu, Lauryn Hill, Andre, bro. They are known industry. Like they are just look. If they didn't have, we would label them one thing if they didn't have money. But because they have money, they labeled as eccentric. And
they're infectious. Something happens when you connect.
Look,
but like, here's my thing, man. I feel like as you do age, in any craft, whether you're trying to break into that field and that craft, or you're trying to take your next step in it, I think you have to redefine what the win looks like at that time. And I think Andre has been trying to do that for himself. Yeah. But I think someone who does it really well, not at the age of Andre, but Lecrae, in the Christian hip hop space, Lecrae has done a lot. Lecrae has crossed over. Lecrae has gotten Grammys. Lecrae has kind of led as far as being the face of CHH, taking it to that next level, being that mega star. Yeah. And often, like, Lecrae still drops music. He does his thing. Yeah. But often when I see Lecrae is like, hey, I'm trying to advocate in this space in podcasts. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to set up other artists like Wande. And I've watched tons of interviews where he's like, hey, here are the strategy meetings that we had around launching this artist, or what up RG, or those. And so, like, when Lecrae is like, oh, I'm going to drop the albums, and I want the albums to do numbers. I want to do that. But you can kind of tell when he drops the albums that for him at this point in life, those are his therapy albums, and he's trying to share more of his story. But his real focus is launching that next generation. And so I feel like the way that he's done that has been real good. And he's talked about in interviews, he's like, hey, moving from strength to strength. He talked about that book. He's like, hey, my win looks different. Sometimes when I watch Andre, I feel like Andre is not sure what the win is. And so he's like, I'm sitting back because I'm trying to figure out what is my role in this space. And I would like to see him take a more actively engaged, if he knew. And I'll say this, if you don't know how you can best help, I think it is best to sit back. But I feel like he could do more.
Okay. So but we got to get to this point. You mentioned two people, though, that are taking a radically different base to life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lecrae, the whole deal, it started around discipleship.
Yep.
Right? So there's a like.
You're right.
Hey, fam.
You're right.
We don't treat unbelievers like believers. We don't treat immature believers like mature believers.
You're
and
right.
So I can't, I'm not
gonna hold them to the same standard.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's true, and I think we also quality is quality, right? Quality is quality. So when I'm looking at the response, I can see the wisdom in Andre's response, and also go like, but I think it's lacking an element that could be there, and still say like, hey, that's good for him, but I think there's a better way to. I think there's a better way to approach.
I think two things can be true at the same time. And here's what. So I agree with you that even if you have momentum and timing and you don't have talent, it's not gonna go. But I also there's this guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Okay.
And who a lot of people regard as the GOAT, right? And but a lot of people tell you there was somebody that came out around his same time that was like that would cook him. But the time, he had the talent, but he didn't have some of the other stuff. He was getting in trouble with the law and different things, didn't make it through. You understand? For 90s basketball, Michael Jordan had the perfect body and fit and game for that era.
Right.
I'm about to get in trouble. Mike is still my GOAT, but I don't know if Mike's game translates to today NBA because of
clip him right now with no context.
Look, LeBron is not my GOAT.
Yeah.
And LeBron is a freak of nature physically in what he can do and what he can play and how he can play and how long he's lasted and longevity and all those different things of that nature, right? Where his body, his skill set is made for the era he's played in. Kareem, no one could touch the skyhook. And for 80s basketball, Kareem and Magic, every video you will watch will tell you that Larry Bird is one of the coldest men to ever step on the hardwood. And yeah, he wasn't dunking on Larry in his early, before his back injury, would dunk on you. He would dunk on you, and he would talk trash like nobody. Like they would tell you, there was no greater trash talker than Larry Bird.
Looking up the highlights.
And Larry from French Lick, Indiana, would put it on you and let you know that he put it on you. And so they the timing and momentum. There's some things that matter with that. And so it's a both thing, but you can't. One without the other still leaves you nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Because Harold Miner was tagged as Baby Jordan. But Harold Miner didn't have the talent of a Michael Jordan. He just didn't. There was some momentum in different things. And all the campaign, the shoe campaigns, everything was Baby Jordan. And Harold Miner never had a career that was nowhere near Michael Jordan, right?
Right.
So you can have all the momentum and timing and if you don't have the talent to back it up, it's not going to do it. And you can have the talent, and sometimes it just be in the wrong. Tom Brady was the perfect quarterback for the era that he was in. He couldn't have played when the quarterback was doing nothing but running the triple option. Tom Brady came into an era of the NFL where passing was king. And if you could have a quarterback that could step back, be controlling the pocket, deal with pressure, which he still can't deal with double-A gap blitz, but and deliver the ball accurately. Throw him in open.
He has that set.
He has that set. He was the right timing because Drew Bledsoe that he replaced had a better arm than Tom Brady. But Tom Brady came in and it was the timing and momentum. And really, they started winning while Drew Bledsoe was hurt, and Drew Bledsoe never got an opportunity to come back from injury and ever even compete for his job again. Right. That's how Tom Brady got the starting job.
Right. Yeah, man. I completely agree with you, bro. I think it's all about evaluating where you're at and what skill set is necessary. And that being said, because I was a little hard on one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
I was a little hard on one of the GOATs. I don't want an Andre 3000 album because Andre doesn't want to give us an Andre 3000 album. I have enough faith in Andre as someone who's intentional and thinks about timing to say, this is not the time for me to give you my best. And so I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Yeah. And so like, I appreciate that. And I think we all have to be evaluating where we at in our lives. Yeah. And what is the skill set that's going to best serve the people around me, whether that be in your local church, whether that be in your business or in someone else's business, or what is the role that I'm really set up with the gifts that God has given me right now and the landscape that I'm in, the timing of right now. What is the best that I can bring to the table? So what do y'all think, man? I want to have that conversation in the comments, especially here on Facebook. Did you know that when you like, comment, and share, that introduces us to new people who may also enjoy our show, and it tells the algorithm who they should shoot it to. So we would love to have your help with that. Make sure that you're sharing that and doing that with people, man. And we want to have this conversation with you in the comment section. Continue to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for a conversation
in the intersection.